Hi and welcome to the Aaron Russos podcast. Today we're part 4 of the Anxiety Uninstalling program. So this is a program part online, part, it's all online now. I'm talking about the different platforms. Spotify, Apple Podcast and YouTube has all these episodes. And then at aaronrussos.org, we have the program, some checklists, the do's, the don'ts, the foodison, shopping list, recipes, videos of me cooking it, preparing it, plating it, where to get everything from, how to prepare yourself. It's all on the website. Everything that you ever needed to heal yourself of an incurable disease is there. I've done it. I, the man who's talking to you right now, have done it back in 2018 from the 1st to the 14th. So if I can do it, what is the thing that we say on earth? If one man can do it, anyone can do it. So that means any of you can do it. The only thing that's going to stop you from doing it and the thing that stops is yourself. Okay, so I've given you the opportunity. You're here, right? You're here. I've done it. Others have done it to a T. So basically, the only thing that's stopping you from doing it is yourself. Now, I know many sick people that have been unwell for quite some time that actually are very scared to heal themselves because they're going to lose their identity. People don't know who they are as that non-sick person. So, look, it can be a curse sometimes to heal yourself because the world's not ready, especially at this stage and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, do you know how much suffering right now in the world today, right now, do you know how much suffering 400 million plus people all around the world with anxiety disorders, the anguish, the pain, the stress. Do you realize how much is right now? If you had to listen to all of that pain, it would bring you to your knees. You would be on the ground sobbing like a baby, knowing that your fellow man, people that are just like you out there, and that you could help them. That's what this is about. It's about humanity. It's not about me making a dollar. It's not about me explaining the last 34 years how I came up with everything to make this. I've got the plan, shortest possible distance from A to B, which is 14 days plus schoolwork beforehand to understand it. And you're away. That's what we're dealing with here. That's why there's no money involved with it. Because I had it before. No other doctor has ever put anything out for free because they never had the disease. They never knew what it was like to suffer, to not want to be here on the planet anymore, not want to go through another day of this shit. Right? Because if they did, all your fucking medication would be free, right? Everything is relevant to where we've come from to where we are today. We are a collective. You don't realise it. You don't see the power that we have as a collective, as a people power. And that's why we have been suppressed we can be suppressed by a very small group of people. We've all known the elephant that goes on the circus and is just tied up with a rope. It mentally doesn't think that it could get it, but it could trash the whole circus. And there's been cases of them, having a long memory as well. Don't get me wrong. My long memory is going to be quite interesting because I've got 7 years of everyone shutting doors in my face, telling me I'm full of shit. I've had friends and family that have known me all my life, 51 years, that are saying, you are fucking cooked, cunt. That's the thing that one of my friends put online one day when I posted something about this and the journey and whatever. They said, you're cooked, cunt. And everything that I do is met with resistance, met with ridicule. I'm the crazy man, I'm the one, yet I keep pushing through where no one else would go, no one else would have the courage to do this. And I keep pushing through and pushing through because of humanity, because of you, because I love every single one of you, because you are me. Yeah, we're the same. We come from the same place. You have no idea how connected we are, but I do. But either way, just being another human being, knowing what it's like. Hey, what's wrong with helping another human being? The world has become a very selfish, conditioned, negative place. But guess what? Everyone's waking up now. Now's the shift. It's all happening now. Everyone's starting to get their shit together and question things and go, nah, mate. So it's appropriate, timely-wise, that this is all coming to a fore. But I'm saying with my long memory, I've got 700 correspondences with all different governments, every mental health organisation in the world, to the biggest ones like NAMI in America, smaller boutique ones you wouldn't know. These people are entrusted to look after you, but not one of them even wanted to have a conversation. This is the thing, another very interesting thing, right? No one who is actually out to get organisations that get hundreds of millions of dollars to get a cure to fix this problem, not one of them has wanted to have the first conversation. So where does that fit in the bigger picture, right? Because I'm a chef, right? If someone came to me and said, oh, look, we've got this, you've been doing banquets this way for so many years. If you cook it this way, do it this way, you get 100 times better result and you'll get awards. It'll be crazy. If I didn't listen to that, or I wasn't open to have the first conversation to that, what sort of a chef was I? What sort of a chef am I trying to do the best for my industry, to bring out the best, to get the best and latest global best trends, or set new trends, or take the industry forward, if I don't have that first conversation? And none of these people have had the first conversation. One of the most fascinating little mini stories, I guess, with all of this is when I first healed myself and I wasn't quite sure what I'd done, I thought I need to get into some organisation. So what I did was I used the organisation that I'd been a Blue Voices member for. So I'd been a Blue Voices member for Beyond Blue for many years, in forums, things. I'd actually got invited to things as a lived with experienced person with an anxiety disorder. So they would get feedback from me and write policies and procedures and fine-tune services for people with mental health issues. So that's how high up I was in that organisation, every night, and forums explaining this and that and the other. Now, I went to, after I healed myself, they invited me to a mental health forum in South Australia. And this was the state psychiatrist, Beyond Blue people, lived with experienced people on each table, and then all the different government workers that work in mental health. And what we did was we had tables of 10, and there'd be, a senior person, workers, and lived with people on each table. And we would table different things, and I would provide feedback from a lived with experienced person about present things and how we might be able to fix them in the future. So I got to this government forum. I'd healed myself already, and I was there to test a few things out. So I'm moving around on tables, and I'm looking over in the distance, and there's a guy called Chris Burns, who at the time was the state psychiatrist for South Australia, and like the leading guy in mental health and stuff. And so I was waiting, and I was sort of getting closer and closer and closer and closer. And I finally get to his table, and I sit down, and we talk about the topics, and I'm sitting next to him. And if we finish the topics early, we've got a bit of free time. We can talk amongst ourselves until the other tables are finished. And we did. We finished early, and I was sitting next to Chris, and I said, hey, mate, can I talk to you about something? I said, oh, look, I've sort of gone on this bit of a journey, and I've found out this, and I've tried this protocol, and I've healed myself. And I guess now looking back, I know that the first words out of his mouth were a conditioned programmed response. And he said to me, so I told the state psychiatrist that I've formulated a plan and I've completely healed myself from anxiety disorder, and that I've documented it and I've done it with other people and it works with other people as well. And he said, that's good that it works for you. And I said, no, it works for other people. And he goes, that's good that it works for you twice. Why would a state psychiatrist be trying to keep saying the same things to me about a disease that I told him I'd cured? So he's obviously thinking I'm still sick, right? I mean, state psychiatrists are not the most, how would I say, open and spiritual, or even, they are pretty much limited to what they've been taught, and they're in a box, and their new job is in a box and all the rest of it. And so there was no way that I could get through to this guy. And I thought, this is strange. If I was in his position, I'd want to be the world beater. Do you know what I mean? I'd want to go, yeah, take this guy under my wing, and I'd run with him and go, mate, let's change the world together. But no, that'd be too easy, wouldn't it? So Chris Burns, I ended up harassing Chris Burns until he ended up fucking up anyway. He did something wrong, and it was covered up, and he ended up being a CEO of a homeless shelter, Hutt Street homeless shelter or something. How the state psychiatrist ends up being a fucking CEO of a homeless shelter, I have no idea. He fucked up somewhere, but, jobs for the boys and mates and whatever, they sort of pushed him sideways because they couldn't get him. But he, he's one example of just this whole broken system that's full of shit. So no one's going to want to help you. No one's going to want to listen to you. But I guess that's part of the reason why I'm leaving this whole program on my website for anyone around the world to pick it up and have a go whenever they want. Because as people start healing, that truth alone is saturated to a point where that is the new truth. That's the way in the past things have happened that no one's believed. Eventually, when enough numbers start healing themselves, it becomes a new truth, and then the medical industry has to backpedal and has to work out how we're going to merge these two fields together or what we're going to do. It's new territory because no one's ever cured anything before. But I'm telling you, you can tell by the history and the amount of effort I've gone to. I've spent every cent plus more, everything I've spent day, night doing this. Why? I could just stop now, go back to my normal life, right? Go and get a job and live normally and just have an experience or whatever. I can't do that. Something within me will not allow me to get on with life. It keeps saying to me, hey, humanity's still here. They're all suffering. You know what it's like. But no one out there, none of you care. The state psychiatrist doesn't give a fuck. All the people that are sick don't give a fuck. So why am I the only person on the planet that cares about you? A complete stranger is the only person that cares the most about all of the people that are suffering with mental health. You are loved by a complete stranger more than anyone else. A complete stranger who put their life on the line, dedicated their whole life, all of their money, all of their resources, all of their time, every day, for people he doesn't even know. For people he doesn't even know. Let that sink in. I don't have a problem anymore. I'm not sick anymore. I don't have don't suffer from anything. I could just go and get on with life and never have a problem ever again. That should tell you about the character of the person who is providing this program to you. And I'm going to leave that episode right there so you can have a bit of a think about that.